Hello, today I'll be talking about my week 12 coding assignment for fetching an API. So I have here on the left my VS Code, my HTML and JS files, and then on the right here I've got, first I wanted to show the API I used, and then I've got my live server as well. The API I chose to use is this dog API with lots of very adorable images of dogs. So I'll open that live server here. Starting off with our index.html document, just some pretty simple page layout things, as well as our links to Bootstrap and jQuery and my JS file. We've got this main div container here that contains all of the different text and buttons that we'll see and the images when we fetch them. We've got a h1, and then we've got a button connected to our fetch dog function that we'll see in the JS file. And then we've got a h3 connected to this form here where a user can input their favorite dog name and then submit it through this other button. Oh boy, where is it? Oh, here we go. Other button, submit here. And then lastly, we've got an invisible section that you'll see only once the user submits their name. It will pop up here below. I didn't want a separate title for that section, so you just can't see it until the user clicks it. And then lastly, an H4 that will, in a list that will contain a column of all the dog images when we fetch them. For our JS file, we've got our API keys at the very top there. We've got the URL for the dog API and then my personal API key. And then we've got our fetch.dog function. And so this function, like I said, we're going to click and we'll display all of the different dog images. I did limit it to 10 images here, and there is quite a bit of a delay. I keep noticing. There we go. Okay, awesome. Oh, why did it get messed up? Shoot, okay, some of them look a little weird, but as you can see, it will display those images here. Um, creating a new element each time we kind of fetch that image and then adding it to a column that I created to be this format. Then moving on, we go into our form section. So the form section kind of encompasses both of these different functions. The first function is an event listener. I did have to use some outside resources to get this, as I still don't fully understand it, but we use that to sort of listen for the user click on the submit button. And then when the user submits their input from the form, then we'll use this dog description element or object, if you will, to get the user's input and push that into the second function here, which will display it for us. And then after they hit submit, we clear the input field after they post it without refreshing the screen, is my understanding. So for example, if we do Lily is the best dog name and click submit, we'll see that here. It clears this form and then it lists our user input below. And that's where that section was in the index.html file that we couldn't see. The second function, as I mentioned, is what displays that name there. So it's kind of putting it in its own list kind of section by itself. So we have that. And then lastly, we've got our delete function, which you see along with each image here. The user can choose to click and delete any images that they want. And that is it. When you refresh, obviously, it resets everything. Thank you so much.